There's something no one tells you when you're young, that the secret to a peaceful, meaningful old age often has nothing to do with working harder, climbing higher, or being the most productive. No, in truth, it's about being lazy, but only in the right ways. You see, many of us were raised to believe that hustle is everything, that we must respond to every problem, chase every opportunity, and stay endlessly busy. But what if I told you that as we age, the less energy we waste on certain things, the more content, calm, and happy we become? I've seen it firsthand, in friends, in neighbors, in myself. So today, I want to share with you 5 areas of life where being lazy is not only okay, it's wise, it's liberating, and it just might be the reason your later years become your best years. Before we begin, I want to hear from you. What's one thing you've become lazier about in recent years that's actually improved your life? Drop it in the comments below. And if you're new here, go ahead and subscribe. We're building a place for elder wisdom, where your voice matters. Let's get into it. The first thing you should absolutely become lazier about: being the first to react to drama. In our younger years, reacting quickly feels like survival. Someone says something offensive, and we jump to defend ourselves. A relative causes a stir, and we're on the phone within minutes, trying to fix it, explain it, or pick a side. But with age, we earn something priceless: perspective. And with that perspective comes the power to pause. If there's one thing I've learned, it's this: very few problems actually require your immediate attention. Most don't even deserve your energy. Letting time pass, letting emotions settle, letting others work through their own storms, that's not laziness. That's emotional wisdom. Because the truth is, most drama thrives on reaction. It feeds on urgency. But when you become lazy about getting involved, when you no longer rush to judge, respond, or control, you rob drama of its power. You preserve your peace. You start to see how much noise people make when they haven't learned to sit with silence. Now, I know what some might say, but what if someone is wrong? What if something unfair is happening? Let me tell you, there's a difference between standing up for your values and being pulled into every emotional whirlwind. When you wait, when you listen, when you refuse to take the bait, you often find the truth reveals itself without you having to lift a finger. So ask yourself, how often have you gotten involved, only to realize later it wasn't your battle to begin with? How often did reacting quickly make things worse, not better? Drop a comment below if you've learned this lesson too. Have you become more selective about what deserves your attention? Have you ever regretted reacting too fast? Remember, the older we get, the more precious our peace becomes. Don't trade it for someone else's storm. Now, what's the second thing you should be lazy about if you want to be happier in old age? Let's talk about it. Trying to please everyone. There is a quiet kind of exhaustion that settles in when you've spent your life trying to make everyone happy. You know the feeling. Saying yes when you want to say no. Attending gatherings that drain you. Agreeing just to avoid conflict. At first, it feels like kindness. Like being a good friend, spouse, parent. But over the years, it chips away at something vital: yourself. One of the greatest freedoms of aging is the realization that your worth does not come from how much you bend. You don't need to explain your boundaries. You don't need to apologize for protecting your time, your energy, your peace. So yes, be lazy about pleasing everyone. Stop jumping at every request. Let go of the need to be liked by every person in the room. Say maybe later without guilt. Say no without explanation. The people who truly love you will understand. And the ones who don't, they never saw you clearly to begin with. It may feel strange at first. Guilt might creep in, but that's just old habits resisting change. And trust me, it passes. What remains is a deeper, quieter kind of joy. One rooted not in approval, but in authenticity. Think about this. How many times have you overcommit yourself only to feel resentment creeping in? How many times have you smiled through something that hurt, just to keep the peace? Now imagine this. You wake up and do what you want. You spend time with people who lift you up. You speak honestly, even if it's uncomfortable. That's not selfishness. That's emotional maturity. If you've started saying no more often and felt better because of it, Tell me in the comments. What's something you no longer do just to keep others happy? And if you're finding these truths valuable, consider subscribing. We've got more wisdom on the way, and I don't want you to miss it. Up next, the third thing to be lazy about, and it might just save your health. Stressing over things you can't control. Worry has a way of wrapping itself around the mind like ivy, slow, steady, and suffocating. When we're younger, we believe worrying is somehow useful, that if we think about something enough, we can stop it from going wrong. But as the years pass, reality humbles us. We see how little control we truly have over people, outcomes, even our own bodies at times. And so, one of the greatest acts of wisdom in old age is this: be lazy about stress you can't solve. Don't waste your precious mind wrestling with things that are out of your hands. The news cycle, what your grown children are doing, the choices others make, the way the world is changing. These things will go on whether you worry or not. Your job now is not to fix the world, but to protect your inner world. That doesn't mean apathy. It means clarity. It means recognizing where your influence ends and where acceptance begins. And believe me, that kind of peace is powerful. I've known people in their 80s and 90s who radiate calm, not because their lives are perfect, but because they've stopped trying to micromanage the universe. They focus on what they can do, be kind, stay curious, enjoy small joys. The rest, they let it be. Here's a simple question I ask myself whenever I start to worry. Is this something I can act on today? If the answer is no, I gently let it go. I breathe. I go for a walk. I call someone I love. Life is too short and too precious to spend tangled in invisible problems. Tell me in the comments, what's something you've finally stopped stressing about? What did letting go give back to you? And if this message is hitting home, give the video a like. It helps more people find these reminders we all need. Next, let's talk about the fourth thing to stop putting your energy into. This one often hides behind good intentions, but it can quietly drain your joy. Fixing other people's lives. It starts innocently enough. You give advice to someone you care about. You step in to help, to guide, to rescue. Maybe it's your adult child who keeps making poor decisions, or a friend who never quite listens, no matter how much you try to help. You think, if I don't step in, who will? But here's the hard truth many of us only learn with age. People change when they are ready. Not when we want them to. Not when we push hard enough. Not when we pour all of ourselves into their problems. And the more energy you spend trying to fix someone else's life, the less you have left for your own. Being lazy about fixing others doesn't mean you stop caring. It means you stop carrying. You recognize that everyone walks their own path, even if it's messy, even if it hurts to watch. And sometimes, the best gift you can give someone is space. Space to fall. Space to learn. Space to grow. I know it's not easy, especially if you're a parent or someone who spent a lifetime being the strong one. But remember, your wisdom is more powerful when it's offered, not imposed. When it's lived, not lectured. Let go of the urge to control. Let others face the consequences of their choices. Trust that your presence, your steadiness, and your love are enough. You do not need to be the architect of anyone else's life. I'll ask you something now. Has there ever been a time when stepping back actually helped more than stepping in? Share your story in the comments. It could help someone else struggling with the same lesson. And if you're nodding along, tap that subscribe button. We're not done yet. There's still one more thing to be lazy about. One that might just be the most surprising of all. Let's go there next. Chasing constant productivity. For most of our lives, we're taught that our value is tied to how much we do. We're praised for being busy, admired for juggling tasks, and quietly shamed when we rest. Even in retirement, that mindset follows us like a shadow, whispering that if we're not producing something, we're wasting time. But here's the truth I wish someone had told me decades ago. Rest is not a reward. It's a right, and you don't need to earn your stillness. Being lazy about productivity in old age isn't laziness at all, it's wisdom. It's the brave act of stepping off the treadmill and saying, I've done enough. You no longer have to prove anything. Not to your family, not to society, not to yourself. Take a day to sit in the sun without guilt. Read the same book twice. Take naps. Watch the birds. Let the dishes wait. Your joy does not need to be justified. Your existence does not need to be efficient. Think of all the moments you rushed through when you were younger because there was always more to do, more goals to meet, more lists to check off. Now, you get to slow down. You get to savor. Productivity never made anyone whole. Presence does. Peace does. And that kind of peace, it only comes when you stop measuring your days by what you accomplished and start measuring them by how fully you lived. Let me ask you something. Have you allowed yourself to truly rest lately? Not because you were tired, but because you deserve to? Share in the comments how slowing down has changed your perspective. You might be surprised how many others feel the same. And if this part of the message struck a chord with you, go ahead and like the video. It tells me, and the platform, that this is the kind of conversation we need more of. Now, before we close, let's bring everything together with one final thought. Stay with me for the conclusion. It just might change how you see the rest of your life. So here we are. 5 things that, once upon a time, we were told to push harder at. React fast. Please everyone. Worry more. Fix others. Stay busy. And yet, as we grow older, we start to see the wisdom in doing less. Not out of weakness, but out of clarity. You see, aging is not about decline. It's about refinement. It's about letting go of what no longer serves you, so you can finally enjoy the life you've spent decades building. Being lazy in the right ways is not laziness at all. It's self-respect. It's choosing peace over pressure, stillness over chaos, being instead of proving. The happiest elders I've known don't rush. They don't explain themselves. They don't chase approval. They've learned that most things in life will work themselves out if you stop trying to control them so tightly. So today, I invite you to ask yourself, where can I let go? Where have I done enough? And if this video helped you reflect, take a moment now to share it with someone else who might need this reminder. Leave a comment below. What's one thing you're finally choosing to be lazy about? I'd love to read it. And don't forget to subscribe. This isn't just a channel. It's a gathering place for those of us seeking peace, wisdom, and honest conversations about growing older with grace. You've earned your rest. You've earned your calm. Now go live like it.